Have you ever wanted something really badly? Whether it was wanting that dream car, or that dream house, or maybe it was that shiny, sparkly promotion at your job. So much so that when you even think about it, your nerves take over. For me, even thinking about my goals makes me utterly distressed. Anxiety can be overwhelming, but can it also be conquered? I've been swimming competitively for 7 years, and the sport makes me happy. But what I don't enjoy as much are swim meets. I get stressed and anxious before races, no matter how much I've trained, and I train almost daily. Normally, I train to go all out, holding nothing back, in order to prepare myself for races at swim meets. Now, I desperately wanted to get a personal record in order to achieve a higher standard of racing. I had set my record at 30.7 seconds in the 50-meter butterfly, my best event. Now, I desperately wanted to shave that time down. The lower your time, the better. The faster your time, the more races you qualified for, so even shaving off half a second was a huge deal. My goal was the Canadian Western Championships time at 30.2 seconds, so only half a second away. At one particular meet, I was thinking about how I needed to get this goal after years of training, but something felt off. My muscles tightened, my stomach got butterflies, and a rush of nerves crashed through my body. I could feel the panic spreading like frost over a window. Could I really get a personal record? I'd have to push so hard. What if I ran out of energy? What if I pushed too hard at the start, ran out of energy, and couldn't get a personal record? Right then and there, I began second-guessing my usual tactics. I decided I needed to change the way that I raced, right behind the blocks, right before my race. Suddenly, the whistle blew, and I dove in, hearing my inner negative thoughts with a rush of nerves and change of plans so that I could shave off any time. I didn't push all out and go super hard until the very last few meters, but by then it was way too late. I pulled myself out of the water, looked up at the timer and saw 32 seconds. 32 seconds! My once nervous mind became wildly angry at the result and began throwing hands with the very few positive thoughts that were left. I was so full of fury and flying insanity that the second I got home, I started scribbling in my journal. I had to write down every negative thought, every derisive comment, everything. By the time I finished writing, I looked down at the page of vile thoughts that haunted my mind. Then, I also noticed something interesting. Among the statements of self-loathing, a few of my mistakes had made it in there. In my furious scribbling, I had written myself a checklist of action items, things I could act on. First, I had been holding back, which had left me losing time and not gaining it. Second, having a negative attitude. I mean, the thoughts on that page confirmed it. I decided I needed to pair solutions to my mistakes so that I could improve. I wrote in bold red ink next to my mistakes the solutions. Next to holding back, I wrote, don't hold back. Race without concern. Swim the first half of your race like it was the whole race. Beside negative attitude, I wrote, turn negative thoughts into positive ones. I also added, swinging my arms faster the last few meters of the race because it was something I could easily control in the moment. Every morning after that race, I thought about my goals. Every single time I trained, I repeated the solutions as steps to myself. I especially had wanted to repeat them so many times outside of the pool that they were subconscious by the time the next meet rolled around. And over the passage of several months, I learned how to persevere through practice. I found myself standing behind the blocks once again, but this time I was more calm. The same stakes were on the line, and as I felt my muscles tighten again, I repeated the solutions as steps to myself. Don't hold back. Remember your training. As the nerves continued to run high, I just kept repeating. Don't hold back. Remember your training. It was like reciting a mantra or a prayer before battle, a calming influence that provided me with the strength I needed to face the challenge. And as I dove in for my redemption race, there was nothing in my mind but those steps. I reached the halfway point in my race, and I reminded myself I was halfway there. I could push through. But then I reached the end of my race, and I thought about giving in or slowing down, because boy, was I tired. But I remembered I needed to swing my arms faster the last few meters of the race as I had written it down. I swam as vigorously as I could to the wall, and by the time I touched the wall to end the race, every single muscle in my body burned. But I pulled myself out of the water once again, looked up at the timer, and saw 30.2 seconds. I'd done it. I had shaved off the half second and got my Western time. I went from adding time because of nerves, fear, stress, and anxiety to taking time off. And it's all because of 3 simple steps. First, writing down my problems on paper. By getting my problems on paper, I was able to start thinking of them more clearly. Second, pairing solutions to my mistakes. By having my problems on paper, I was able to be specific in what I could do about them. And third, repeating the solutions as steps to myself over and over, both in the event preparation and in the event itself. By writing, solving, and repeating, I was able to kill my anxiety and achieve my goals. Write, solve, and repeat. I've started adopting this method into all aspects of my life. For example, who here has had a mishap or struggled immensely with presenting something in front of an audience? Me too. Been there, done that. I noticed I struggled immensely with maintaining eye contact. But I learned that I have to remain calm in the moment and just keep repeating to maintain eye contact, as it was something I could easily control in the moment. Here's what I would encourage you to do. The next time you find yourself stressed, struggling, and fighting through a goal, write, solve, and repeat. It'll make your problems clear, your solutions obvious, and will keep them stuck in your mind all throughout. Whether it's at work or play, we all get stuck in sticky situations sometimes. We all get anxious. Time is money, but learning how to use time to write, solve, and repeat can help you improve your mistakes and achieve your goals. So go chase your dream of wanting that car and that house and that shiny, sparkly promotion at your job. It's a simple 3 steps. Write, solve, and repeat to keep moving forward and achieve your goals. Thank you.